bit about how you guys pieced together the bottom half of the rankings, because you had high praise for the top half, and maybe you go from 5 to 1 like Florida, or 1 to 5, however it may be. Maybe you bounce up to the top spot like Mississippi State, but you're kind of all in that elite group. Hold that thought, because there's a team that has made a move and has made a big move of late, especially actually over the last couple of years. We'll get back to Runes and the rankings, but Louisiana Tech a couple of years ago, they had a tall mountain to climb. They were a team that was fighting to get to 500 to play meaningful games at this point in the season, and they brought in their man who did great work at Campbell, those 40-40-40 win seasons, 3 in a row in triplicate. Greg Goff took over in the summer of 14 at Louisiana Tech, and it's been an amazing couple of years. Coach joins us after a sweep of Rice over the weekend. Coach, as you took this job a couple of summers ago, what were you looking at the program? Did you imagine you could get here where you are now this quickly?
Well, to be honest with you, no, I didn't. I felt like it was going to take some time, especially being in Conference USA, with all the great programs and great coaches there. I knew it was going to take time. I knew that the program had not did too well over the last 2 years, but had a great history of doing well. And so I thought it would take some time. I thought, 3 or 4 year period before we could really, get the guys in there that we wanted and kind of fit my, offensive scheme of things. And we just got really fortunate with, bringing in 19 new guys, and they have really, really, really played extremely well to this point.
Hey, Greg, I wanted to ask you about your experience at Campbell. It's one of the things that's the greatest thing about college baseball is you're going to have your highest highs and you're going to have your lowest lows. And I remember you and your great staff that you had there, Justin Hare, who's now the head coach there. You guys really built this winning tradition there, and you go 49-10. In 2013, which is almost a perfect season, and you don't get a regional bid. You lose the conference tournament, you don't get the regional bid, and I just remember how crushing that was for you guys. And then the next year, I remember seeing the video, and I shared it on Twitter of you guys, winning the conference tournament and being announced on the selection show, and we're at that time of the year again, and there are coaches that are going to have that experience, players are going to have experience. Could you talk about just what that was like, that year to go from that low to that high with your program?
Sure. Well, that was probably the lowest point in my career, going through such a tremendous year, everybody having us in, and, we lost one game out of the last 20 games, and that was a championship game. Against a team that was hosting it, literally was hosting the tournament. We got beat at an extra inning. So, we felt real good about that, and I had a big watch. I was even told that we were in, and a couple of different people. And you go from having a big watch party and everybody's there to all of a sudden your name doesn't get called, having to, get all the cameras out of the room and just talk with your kids. Probably one of the toughest days of my coaching career. But then, good Lord blessed us within a year's time. I went through some times where, it really worth doing and coaching and going through this stuff because we felt like we did everything you're supposed to do and was left out. And then, a year later, we're in the conference tournament. We lose the first game of the conference tournament and we win 6 straight to get that automatic berth. So it was amazing, that transformation and getting through that and just learning to, if you just get through and persevere through some things, some good things will happen.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask you about, obviously you have a big conference tournament to prepare for, but I wanted to ask about your experience in the NCAA tournament because, obviously you've taken a Division II team to the World Series, and then in 2014, you guys were in a really interesting regional where you had a bunch of teams in there that were making a first appearance in a long time, and then you had South Carolina, who just flat doesn't lose home regional games in that building, and you watch Maryland kind of take it to them and win that thing. And I just think there's so much balance that's going to be in this year's tournament. As you think back on that, what is the key to? There's some big teams out there this year. What's the key to going into one of those buildings and upsetting one of those teams in their home regional?
Well, I can remember watching Maryland work out that first day when we were all doing our workouts. Everybody's going through, and I'm watching their team and playing the first night, and I was like, wow, they got a little chip on their shoulder, and John had those guys playing really, really well. And like you said, nobody goes to South Carolina and beats them, and they did that year. I think really the most important thing is just try to keep your kids grounded and make them understand what got you there. And Maryland did a great job that year of coming in there and really running the bases well and playing hard-nosed baseball and put into a tough environment and won. I think this year you're going to see a lot of guys have a chance to go into some places that are hosting regionals and have a chance to do those types of things because there's so much parity, I feel like, in college baseball and what we're doing now. I just, hopefully we're part of the 64, but too, I can't wait to see the excitement as college baseball continues to build and just so fortunate to be a part of it, guys. It is just amazing time right now.
That excited voice is the head coach of Louisiana Tech, and he has turned that program a 22-win turnaround in just 2 seasons. Greg Goff joins us, and certainly on the cusp of something very special, but I don't want to go too far forward without you won't look back much, Coach, but our listeners certainly want to, because when you're 3-35 against a team and you sweep that team over a weekend series, it's some kind of special. That is really momentum you could build upon. That's what happened with Rice, and I guess more than anything, I'm going to skip the first and the last game and talk to you about the 15-inning 4-3 victory, because with more than 2,000 people at your yard, which I know you were dying to have at the Love Shack, and that kind of energy that you were trying to put in there, and back and forth with the 11-inning homer that it eventually puts them on top, and then Rafael Gladue with the home run to tie it up, and then the walk-off, and the offensive player of the week in Lansford. Just what was that like, that 15-inning game, despite the fact of what it did to you as a coach, but what was that like, that 15-inning game, to have that crowd, to have that walk-off for your kids?
Well, I tell you, going into that last weekend, I knew we were going to face the best pitching staff in the league. And, just watching them on video with Coach Graham and what he's done for college baseball and the prestige that he has for Rice baseball is just unparalleled. Like you said, that first night on Friday, we had not beaten them in 17 tries. We were 0-17 against them, and to go in there and do that on Friday, I felt like our guys got a little more confident after that Friday game. And then Saturday, you got Blake Fox with a tremendous arm. I know last year when he played him, he had never been beaten before. And so you have him on Saturday, and we're throwing a guy that's been throwing real well, Casey Sutton. He's done a couple of shutouts this year, and really probably maybe our best guy going right now. And so then they hooked up, and it was just a tremendous game. But when they hit the home run against our closer, Adam Hackett, which hadn't given up a run in a long time, man, my heart just felt like, oh goodness, I don't know what to do, And then Raphael comes in and pinch hits, and then all of a sudden he hits it off of Anna, their closer, and man, just mayhem goes again. All the crowd went crazy. I just never could have, imagined that being so magical, so quick there. And then our guys, then they come up and hit the 2-run, or they score they ground to a double. They score a run, we get out of it, and then, Bunker comes up and works his magic in that bottom half of the 15th. And just can't say enough about our crowd staying there, and just a big, big day for our program and the momentum that it just picked up. And then, Saturday, senior day, they come right back after that such an emotional game and have another great home field advantage for us.
Yeah, interesting within that game, and Coach Goff is joining us of Louisiana Tech. You have Gladue with the hit and Washam with the hit, and obviously you end up with an out in the middle of it with interference, but then you walk them off.
Yes.
I want to go back to when Tycho gave Rice the lead, and obviously not seeing it. I'd love to walk through your mind's eye, because instead of being down 3-2, it was initially what could have been a home run, which could have been a 3-run home run, which would have had the deficit not 1 run, but 3 runs. How did the umpires get together and turn it into what appeared to be the right call, which was a ground rule double for Rice's Tycho?
Well, I'm kind of an emotional guy, as you could tell. And so, when he hit it, and it hit, all you could see was the baseball coming up. And so I'm sitting there in the dugout, and as soon as I saw it hit and then bounce, my first reaction was, hey, that was a ground rule double. And so, as I verbalized that, the home plate umpire kind of heard me, and so he kind of gave me some eye contact, like, okay, I got that. And then, they had to go out and talk about it and then, get together. And I think 3 umpires were there, and I think 2 of them said yes, 1 said no, and so the guys, I guess, outnumbered the other one and get the call. the way it was. So it was just huge because the 3-1, it was about 3-1 home run. That definitely made a big difference, for us. And now you're only one run down, and you got your copy order coming up, and then we were able to scratch those couple of runs.
Coach Goff, this is great. We can tell how excited you are, and we really appreciate you taking the time. You've got it rocking at the Love Shack again. Good for you.
The Love Shack is rocking, guys, and the reward for winning 3 games against Rice is playing them again on Wednesday. When I saw that, I could not believe that I got to see Coach Graham again. I was hoping we were going to be on 2 different sides because once to beat him 3 times and didn't have a chance to fight again. We got a tough matchup on Wednesday, and hopefully our guys will be ready to try to get after those guys again.
Let's hope it's a great month plus of baseball for you and your players, Coach. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much for letting me come on. And you really got me excited. I wish we were playing tonight. So you guys have a great night, and thanks so much for letting us come on.
Louisiana Tech head coach Greg Goff. That's good stuff. I'd like to play for a guy like that, Runes. He had me excited. Awesome. And any ballpark that can say the Love Shack's a rockin', please come a knockin' is a place I want to go hang out.
He's the best, man. That's